All right, guys, so today in class we talked about solving proportions, but first let's talk about what a proportion is. So a proportion is a name that we give to a statement that two ratios are equivalent. So really, when we look at them, it's going to look like they're just equivalent fractions. So we're going to talk more this week, but we said that two ratios are proportional if they have the same constant of proportionality, and I'll show you how to test for that, if their cross products are equal, if their ratios are equivalent, and if when we graph them, they form a straight line that goes through the origin. So today we talked about solving proportions. So when you look at your proportional statement, there's going to be one piece that's missing. And so we learned how to solve for that missing piece. So for example, we have 6/7 is equal to 24 over what? Okay, so we're looking for this missing piece. What is going to make these two fractions or these two ratios proportional? So the first thing that we have to do is we have to cross multiply, and we're going to cross multiply our 7 times 24. After we cross multiply, then we're going to divide out the remaining number, and in this case, that is a 6. Okay, so we take our 7 times 24, and we get 168. We're going to divide that by the remaining number, which is 6, and we get the answer is 28. So 6/7 is equal to 24 over 28. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing, except you'll notice that your question mark is in a different place this time. We have 3/8 is equal to what over 64. So when we cross multiply this time, we're going to cross multiply the 3 times 64. Then we're going to divide out our remaining number in this case, which is 8. So when we do that, we get 3 times 64 gives us 192. We're going to divide out our remaining number of 8, and we get that our final answer is 24. So 3 over 8 is equal to 24 over 64. Okay, all right, let's do one more together. This one is a real-world problem. So when we work a real-world proportion, there's actually just one extra step. We have to define the proportion. We have to show which real-world piece we're putting on the top of our proportion, which real-world piece we're putting on the bottom of our proportion. So let's look at it. It says Cindy can bake 6 cakes in 2.5 hours. At this rate, how many cakes could she bake in 4 hours? So we're going to define that proportion. We're going to say cakes are on the top of our proportion and hours are on the bottom. Okay, so then we go back into our real world problem. We have 6 cakes, so that's going to go on the top in 2.5 hours, so that's going to go on the bottom. And we're going to set that equal to, it says at this rate, how many cakes? So on our second proportion, we don't know how many cakes, so that's when we're going to put our question mark. And we know we want it to be in 4 hours, so we're going to have our question mark over 4 hours. Okay, so in your real world problems, this one extra step here is just defining your proportion. I've got the cakes on the top, and I've got the hours on the bottom. And then we're going to solve it the exact same way. So we're going to cross multiply our 6 times 4. Okay, we're going to divide out a 2.5 because that's the number that's remaining. So we end up with 24 divided by 2.5. And we get that she can bake 9.6 cakes in 4 hours.